Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Sherwood Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, September 25th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, go through the info with you. So this last week, I showed we only had 4 new properties come on the market in Sherwood, which very slow week for new listings. You can kind of see that as a low for the past 8 weeks, down from 16 the week prior. Ended the week with 72 homes active on the market. You can kind of see that has been kind of in general trending up over this last week, or last 8 weeks, I should say. Got up to 80 2 weeks ago and 72 this last week. The median price and days on market for those actives, you can kind of see what's happened with that. The red bars is the median price. You can kind of see it had been increasing from a low of 725, got up to 784 about 3 weeks back. This last 2 weeks have been right around 727, 728,000. And then the days on market, you can kind of see here, had a low of 30, and this last week a slight high of 46. So about a month and a half of average market time now for the active listings in Sherwood. So things are definitely kind of staying on the market a little longer. Moving along to pendings, pending sales. So this last week I showed we had 8 pendings in Sherwood. You can kind of see where that's been. It's been, holding very steady. It's a pretty tight range, had a low of 6, a high of 11. So we're kind of right in the middle of that. And total number of pendings, that's been, pretty tight range as well. You can kind of see we, had a high of 67, and the last 2 weeks we've been at 60. So pretty tight range with pendings on a weekly basis. The median price and days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see we had a high of 807 8 weeks back, and it's been kind of trending down. This last week kind of fell clear back to 664,000 was the median pending price. And the days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see that's, in general has gone up, had a low of 8, got up to 14, then it came back down after a few weeks. Last week popped back up to 13 days of average market time for the homes that are in pending status. So about 2 weeks currently. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listings activities. So as of the time I put this together, I showed we had 9 properties get flipped over from pending to sold. And you kind of see that's, kind of towards the upper end of, weekly basis or weekly activity in terms of closings. And when I looked 4 weeks back on a rolling basis here, so this last week I showed we had 29 homes go from pending to sold over the prior 4 weeks. It's up from the week prior, but you can kind of see in general, this has been kind of, trending down here over the past 8 weeks. And, probably will likely continue, I would imagine. But we'll see. Medium sold price and days on market for these solds, you can kind of see that had been trending up for about the first 5 or 6 weeks, and the last couple of weeks has been headed back down quite a bit, actually. We peaked out at 790,000 was the median sold price a month ago, and this last week it's a full 100,000 less in terms of the closing prices over this past month. That's pretty big movement. And then days on market for the sold, you can kind of see we were at about a week of market time to begin with. Got up to about 18 days a couple weeks back. This last week fell back to 12. So, roughly went from a week to roughly about 2 weeks of market time. And then lastly, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. Red bars is weeks of inventory. You kind of see that's been moving up. Started off about 6 weeks of inventory. A couple weeks got up to about 11 weeks. This past most recent reading here is about 10 weeks. So, about 2.5 months of inventory is kind of where we're currently at. And then the sale price as a percent of the list price, that has been certainly trending down here. So we were at about 101% 8 weeks back, and you kind of see it's been falling. Last 2 weeks has been closer to about 96% on average of the sale price to list price ratio. So prices are definitely coming down, and things are not selling as close to list, as close or even over list price like we saw here, months prior. So, but all in all, with 10 weeks of inventory, 2.5 months of inventory, I would say we're still kind of in more of a seller's market environment, but it is, moving to certainly more balanced market here in total, kind of moving forward. So hope this last weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. If so, always appreciate any likes, comments, and shares that you might have. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and follow along on my channel. I bring these weekly updates to you to keep you informed of what's happening in your local market. So be sure to subscribe. If I can answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065. Always happy to chat. And as always, I really appreciate you watching and following along. Hope you have an awesome day and week, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.